Hello everybody, Moarhammer here, and I've got another battle report for you. This is a pretty good one. It's 1,000 points, so it's a little bit smaller than my usual games, but I am trying a couple of new things. And it's against a Death army, which is primarily Death Rattle, so yeah, very interesting, very cool. And I'll jump right into it right after the army breakdown. So first of all, I've got my Gaunt Summoner, Wretch. He is bringing his 4 familiars in this game. I'm using the War Scroll with the familiars. He's my general. He's got the Arch Sorcerer Warlord trait, so he's got a couple of extra spells in there. So that was quite cool. I was looking forward to trying this guy out in a match play setting, because he is cool. I do like the model. So I'll just see how he goes. Then I've got a Herald of Tzeentch on disc. I know these guys aren't very good, but because their spells is not that good, but I really like it personally. It's if you roll 9 dice, your opponent rolls 1. For every dice of yours that matches his, he takes a mortal wound. So it's got potential to do 9 mortal wounds. Obviously, it'll never do that, but I still really like the spell. It's cool, it's random, it's funny, it's fluffy. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. Then I've got Herald of Tzeentch on foot. This spell's a bit more practical, a bit more useful. So, but also he's just going to be an extra character that's going to be hanging out with some pink horrors and doing his stuff. Then I've got 2 units of pink horrors in my battle line. They're just going to be casting spells and stuff, shooting stuff and grabbing objectives as they can. Then I've got a Burning Chariot of Tzeentch. He's going to be flying around, he's going to be shooting stuff. I like this model. I like what he does. He's useful in kind of a lot of the phases, because he can do damage in movement, shooting and combat, which is great. Then I've got a unit of 3 Screamers as well. These guys are just going to be running around and hopefully grabbing back objectives, because they're very fast. And I was hoping that a Death Rattle army would be relatively slow, so that's kind of why these guys are going to go along. Then I also have 100 points in my summoning pool. So here is a picture of deployment, and as you can see, we're playing on 4x4, so it's 1,000 points game, so it's a bit smaller, but that's fine by me. Starting on my side, on the far left, I've got a unit of 3 Screamers, and again, these guys were kind of just going to try and get around the side to his back objective. Then I've got a Burning Chariot, moving on to the right. Then in the kind of the Numinous Oculum, I've got a unit of 10 pink horrors, behind which, very closely to them, is the Herald of Tzeentch on foot. Then slap bang in the middle is my Gaunt Summoner with his familiars. Then, moving on to the right, I've got another unit of pink horrors and a Herald of Tzeentch on disc. Then on his side, starting on the far left, he's got a big unit of 30 skeletons. In the centre there, he's got 5 Graveguard, and then behind which is a White King with Black Axe. Then moving on to the right there, he's got another unit of 30 skeletons, and on the far right, he has a Zombie Dragon. Fortunately, this wasn't being ridden by anybody, but it was still a Zombie Dragon nonetheless. So still a bit scary, but because he's got a couple less drops than me, he does decide to choose who goes first, which is actually a bit unusual for me, because normally I'm always the person that gets to choose who goes first. So I didn't like not having that power. And he decides to give me the first turn, which I wasn't sure how I felt about that. It was okay. Because this is what I do. Okay, I'm sorry. I was really mean here. I couldn't help it. My Gaunt Summoner casts Summon Balewind Vortex. He drinks his Soul Draft, which is the artifact he's got, and he, bam, Bolt of Tzeentches straight off his White King. There was nothing he could have done about it. Oh yeah, it was great, but also made me feel a bit dirty inside. He then also, the Gaunt Summoner, casts Infernal Flames at the big unit of skeletons, and wipes all but, 9 of them out. Just the entire unit just goes up in flames. It was fantastic. So yeah, even though there's skeletons, they'll probably mostly come back. That was a fantastic start. So I was quite happy about that. Other than that, my horrors kind of move forwards, my screamers move forwards, so they're just within 6 inches of the objective, so I can get 5 points up on that. The Burning Chariots and the Herald of Tzeentch on disc, they just all sit back a little bit, because I don't need to engage him yet. He could get a double turn and really zoom across the board, and I don't want to be caught out too far forward, so that's why they were there. So we go to his turn. A couple of the skeletons come back because he's got a banner. Other than that, everything just kind of charges forward. His Graveguard does stay back a little bit, but not too much. His Vampire Dragon was the main thing I was a bit concerned about. Zombie Dragon, even. The Vampire Dragon. I'm so bad at that. His Zombie Dragon charges forward and is trying to get into those pink horrors. Fortunately, he does fail that charge. He needed like a 5 or a 6, and he rolls a 3 or 4, so that was fantastic and really useful for me. So we go into the initiative roll, and he wins it, which ain't great, not going to lie. So we go to his turn. He gets some more skeletons back from that unit that I nerfed in the first turn. His Zombie Dragon jumps within 3 inches of the pink horrors, and his skeletons in the middle... Oh, I should just mention he scored 3 points in that last turn. 2 from the left-hand objective, 1 for his back. So he comes forward. His skeletons get within 6 inches of the screamers, so he could automatically make that charge because he's got one of those hornblower people. And his Vampire Dragon, Zombie Dragon, comes within 3 inches of the pink horrors. So I was probably going to lose most of those units this turn, which wasn't great. So he charges over here, no problem. He does kill 1 with his breath, but only 1. That's fantastic. And his skeletons slam into my screamers, and this had me a bit more concerned. Fortunately, because he was quite strung out, he couldn't get too many actually to charge in, so he piles in and kills 1 screamer. So not that bad. I can live with that. I'm not going anywhere yet. I pile in with my horrors and actually managed to slap a wound onto the Zombie Dragon, which was hilarious, and I'm quite a fan of that. Unfortunately, that just makes him angry, and he eats every single pink horror there. Boo! So at the end of that turn, he scores 2 of the objectives, or 3 total, so he's now on 8 to my 5. So we go into my hero phase, and I decide that the Zombie Dragon needs killing. That's exactly what I do. My Gaunt Summoner casts spells at him, my Horrors cast spells at him, my Herald of Disc casts spells at him, my Herald of Tzeentch casts spells at him, and I managed to knock off exactly 14 wounds, which was fantastic. Because now I haven't got to worry about him. My Burning Chariot comes out from behind the ruins to just within 3 inches of the skeletons on the left-hand side, which you can see he's very tidily ranked up. But the Burning Chariot was just within range of the Graveguard that were at the back. Spoilers, because he just shot them off. There wasn't much he could do about it. Just, yeah, nothing left. I flee my Screamers from combat, and they are able to get within 6 inches of the back objective, which means that I will be able to score a decent chunk of points this turn, which is fantastic. I also charge my Herald of Tzeentch on disc at the skeleton warriors in the middle, kind of just to tie them up, because if I charged in where I was, if he piled into attack, he wouldn't be able to go towards the objective, and I just didn't want him scoring, and I was reasonably confident that my Herald could have a good shot surviving there, so especially without the Zombie Dragon roaming around. So that's kind of my plan, just to take the back objective, then I could just sit there with my Screamers and score points, and if he wanted to come and get me, he'd be struggling to do that. So I do charge into the skeletons with my Burning Chariot, and I charge in over here with my Herald, as like I said. I do go first with my Burning Chariot. I kill a couple of models, but nothing that great. So he piles in with his skeletons and puts 2 wounds onto the Herald. So not too bad. Can live with that. And then he piles in around the Burning Chariot and attacks, and he does put 5 wounds onto it. Ooh. He actually put 6 wounds, and I had a 5-up save. And I decided to use that 5 I had in my Destiny dice pool to make sure that I passed one of my saves. And I did actually fail all the other 5 saves, so I'm really glad I used that, because losing my Burning Chariot would have been bad at this point. So we go into the initiative roll. After that turn, I score my home objective and also the one of his back objective, so I score a total of 5 points, which ain't too bad. So we go into my turn. So we go to the initiative roll, and I win it. So first thing that I do is this angry block of skeletons gets infernal flamed by my Gaunt Summoner. And after he finishes, he casts Arcane Bolt at them as well. My Horrors cast a spell at them as well. My Burning Chariot shoots them. The Horrors shoot them, and there's just 2 of them left when we go into combat, which is fantastic. My Screamers kind of move further back to his board edge just so they make sure they're securing that objective fully. And my Herald of Tzeentch on disc flees from that combat, because now that he's piled in away from the objective, I just need my Herald there to score that objective. I know that my Burning Chariot is just within 6 of the left-hand objective, and I know that his 2 remaining skeletons will battle shock off, as long as they didn't kill the Burning Chariot. I'd be absolutely fine. So I do charge in with my horrors against the Skeleton Warriors, but I go with my Burning Chariot first, and he is able to kill the remaining 2 skeletons in combat before they do anything to him, which is very useful. So he piles in over here. He doesn't do anything to the pink horrors, fortunately, and when I attack back, I probably don't do anything either, so that's okay. So we go into his turn, and he does flee with the skeletons away from combat just to try and score some points onto that objective on the right-hand side. He was outscoring the Herald. So we go into, and that's all he could do with his turns. We go into initiative roll, and he does win it, which is a bit inconsequential at this point. The only thing he does is charge straight into the Herald on disc. This is a fantastic picture, don't lie. So he piles in like that, but isn't able to actually kill the Herald. He does 2 wounds to it, so he's got 4 total on him. And then in my subsequent turn, they get nuked off without much difficulty, because my Gaunt Summoner and Burning Chariot just shoot them, and that's that. So, so there you have it. Because I am a very, very horrible human being and used a Gaunt Summoner on Balewind Vortex in a 1,000 point game, I managed to eke out a victory there. I'm not sorry, don't worry about it, it's fine. So yeah, there you go. The main changes here, the Herald Disc. I mean, he's fast, actually. I didn't really use his speed that well, but he is actually really useful for putting into a decent point. The spell, I only used it kind of a couple of times. It didn't do much, so... but I'm changing my mind on how funny it is anyway. So, but he was useful. I liked him. He may crop up again in my lists, but not in any hurry. Burning Chariot performed well. Shot off some useful stuff, which is always good. Held up in combat pretty well. So yeah, always happy with him. And the Gaunt Summoner, star of the show. Shot off his White King, shot off most of the skeletons. In fact, almost all of the skeletons. And he did a decent chunk against the zombie dragon. So, wow, what a showing by him. He's so good. if your opponent's got hordes, they just disappear. So, yeah, I'll definitely be... he'll be appearing again quite regularly, I think. So, yeah, you have lots of that to look forward to. Alright then, so thanks very much for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe or hit the like button in the video. And leave me a comment. I always enjoy reading the comments, so yeah, please do that. And if you want some more updates on kind of the stuff I'm working on at the moment, follow me on Twitter at @morewargames. That is also a hell of fun. So, thanks very much guys, and I'll see you again soon for another battle report.